It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. High pressure at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere will promote well above average temperatures through the next several days, stretching from the Midwest into the Northeast. Afternoon high temperatures are forecast to be 15 to 30 degrees above average from the Midwest and portions of the Mid-Atlantic. The warm temperatures will expand into New England by midweek. Closer to home, very hot temperatures will continue with some additional warming beginning on Sunday and continuing into early next week, with the potential for most of the lowlands to be exceptionally hot. Some areas between 105 to 110. Isolated to scattered storms will also be possible every afternoon and early evening, but a very minuscule chance. But if they do happen, it will produce a threat for gusty outflow winds. We're going to have another look at the weather following this news. Yesterday, we discussed with County Commissioner Amy Barella that the Supreme Court of New Mexico has agreed that the case regarding the gerrymandered maps will be heard. On today's news, we're going to be visiting with former representative of District 2 and the current chair for the Republican Party of New Mexico, Steve Pierce. We're going to have that after the break. The Alamogordo Family Recreation Center announces a brand new program for middle schoolers. Beginning this August, middle schoolers will hang out at the rec center while enjoying various activities such as swimming, art, basketball, guest speakers, and a whole lot more. I spoke with Recreation Coordinator Alan Topp.
We're starting a new middle school age after-school program, so it's going to be geared towards the middle school students where we kind of give them access to parts of our facility like playing basketball, going to the swimming pool. We'll do arts and crafts activities with them, play board games. That's just kind of a nice place for the kids to come and hang out in a safe, supervised environment after school before parents get off.
Registration continues until full. Payment is due at the time of registration.
So it is $42 kind of for the average week. Some weeks might be a little bit less or a little bit more, depending on the number of days in the week. Like if there was parent-teacher conferences and there's no school but we're offering the program, it'd be more for that week. Then weeks with holidays where we're closed, it'd be less for those weeks.
If you have any questions or issues, please contact the Rec Center, 575-439-4142. The Alamo Senior Center presents the Dog Days of Summer Dance. I spoke with Brittany.
It is on July 28th from 2 to 5 p.m. Tickets are $10. We're going to have hot dogs and potato salad and watermelon for dessert. And then Lenore from the Songbirds will be having music going.
Plus a silent auction.
We have everything from massages to gift baskets, art, really nice walkers that have been donated to us. So we have purses, jewelry, all kinds of stuff.
That's happening on July 28th from 2 until 5 at the Senior Center, 2201 Puerto Rico Avenue. Any questions, call 575-439-4150. Can you believe it? Back to school is just around the corner, and school supplies are not getting any cheaper. So Mountain View Church is prepared with the annual Back to School Fest. Pastor Anthony Torres told me all about it.
July 29th from 11 to 2 at the church, and we're giving away free backpacks, haircut vouchers. We have free food, bounce house, face painting, games for the kids. And so Alamogordo Public School is going to be there with their bus, and we have the sheriffs are going to be there and just some local vendors. But yeah, it's just a time where we just celebrate our kids as they get ready to go back to school.
That's July 29th from 11 till 2 at 1300 Cuba Avenue. The next day, July 30th, Grace Methodist Church is offering free shoes to students during the first ever Shoes for Students event. This sounded like a great thing, so I contacted Congregation Coordinator Shelley Young to tell me more about it.
This year we decided that we would provide shoes for any student that comes by. That's going to be on July the 30th at 12:30.
There's also going to be some free socks at the event as well. The event's going to take place right off Cuba Avenue and 16th on July 30th at 12:30. Kids must be present. If you have any questions, 575-437-7640. Well, today is Friday. Let's check in with our good friend Kathy Denton and see what's going on at Kitty City.
Hi, this is Kathy Denton from Kitty City NM, and welcome to this 4th of July week edition of Cat Chat. This week, Kitty City NM is featuring Golden Boy. Golden Boy is a classic domestic short-hair orange tabby about 1.5 years old. Golden Boy is a huge hunk of sweetness and gentleness. For such a big boy, he is a meek and mild kitty with not a mean bone in his body. Golden Boy was rescued from the outdoors by a cat-loving couple who had adopted their own 2 kitties from Kitty City. Golden Boy was staying around outside their home. They were feeding him and looking after him. They became quite attached to Golden Boy, and although they could not keep him, they longed for him to be indoors and safe. They brought Golden Boy to Kitty City in early June. We could not turn away this sweet and friendly cat. Golden Boy has been neutered, has had all his vaccinations and a rabies shot. He is also microchipped. Golden Boy is the picture of good health, but he is not happy. He longs for human affection and to cuddle in someone's lap. He was obviously someone's pet, and they must be missing him. Pet Sense on White Sands Boulevard features Kitty City cats for adoption. They are helping us find a home for Golden Boy. Please stop by Pet Sense to see Golden Boy. He is longing for a forever home. But be forewarned, when you see Golden Boy, he will tug at your heartstrings. Stop by Kitty City NM at 56 Stanley Ranch Road and meet some of Golden Boy's kitty friends. Or visit our website at www.kittycitynm.com to see all our sweet cats and adorable kittens. Happy July to everyone. Come celebrate freedom at the Kitty City Adoption Event tomorrow, July 8th, at the White Sands Mall from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Kitty City will be at the mall all the Saturdays of July, tomorrow, July 8th, and July 15, 22, and 29. Come see all the sweet cats and adorable kittens that need a forever home. And Kitty City will also feature dogs for adoption from Alamogordo Animal Control. Stop by the mall tomorrow and meet your forever friends. This has been this week's edition of Cat Chat. I'm Kathy Denton, and we will talk with you next week from Kitty City NM. Kitty City and you. No one loves them better.
News from around the state in just a moment, plus Steve Pierce. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
The Alamogordo Center of Commerce presents the 3rd annual Tularosa Basin Open Golf Tournament, Saturday, August 26th at Desert Lakes Golf Course, featuring celebrity guest John Carlos. Contact the Center of Commerce today to sponsor our guest speaker, breakfast and lunch, golf handbag, and more. Golfers, call Desert Lakes at 575-439-0290 to secure your spot in the 4-man scramble best ball tournament. See you on the green.
The New Mexico Supreme Court issued guidance Wednesday to a lower court on how to handle a challenge to the state's new congressional maps. The High Court also set a deadline of October 1st for a district court in Roswell to resolve the case. The state's Republican Party sued last year, claiming that the newly redrawn maps of New Mexico's 3 congressional districts amounted to gerrymandering. Democrat defendants argued that the maps were a policy matter that fell under the purview of the Democratic-controlled legislature. I had the opportunity to speak with former representative of District 2 and current chair for the Republican Party of New Mexico, Steve Pierce. Congressman, please explain what gerrymandering is and what we are to expect in the court system.
Well, gerrymandering is when you draw lines in order to give favor to one group or another. For instance, the eastern side of the state is very Republican, and so what the gerrymandered maps did was split Chaves County into 3 pieces, Lee County right down the middle. Eddy County was also divided, as was Lincoln County, so heavy Republican areas. And those votes were then pushed to align with the far northwest and the far northern part of the state. They basically diminished the ability for conservative, not just conservative Republicans, but conservative Democrats to have a voice in the U.S. Congress. That was their intent, and they succeeded when Yvette Herrell lost the race to the current Democrat representative. And so the Supreme Court basically has said, the U.S. Supreme Court has said gerrymandering is bad. And then the New Mexico Supreme Court has also said any kind of gerrymandering, be it political, racial, or any other kind, any kind of gerrymandering is bad. So we felt like from the beginning that our argument that this was one of the worst gerrymandered maps in the entire country, which it was, we felt that argument would have fertile ground in the New Mexico Supreme Court, and it did. They agreed with us and said that what was going on in front of the Supreme Court was that the Democrats had filed to have the case thrown out. And their argument was really, really flaky. It basically said just because it's not very democratic and it's not very good process doesn't mean that it can't stand, because the vote of the legislature should be supreme. And that was such a terrible argument for them to make. The Supreme Court didn't even seem to acknowledge it, but that was their argument.
The state Supreme Court, which is made up of Democrats, stated in their order that given the political nature of redistricting, a reasonable degree of partisan gerrymandering is permissible. You can hear the entire interview in its entirety on the KALH YouTube channel. The congressman and I also discussed cannabis as well as his wife's health, for which he is asking for prayers. A New Mexico Children, Youth, and Families Department caseworker remains employed after being charged with child abuse. On April 16th, Rio Rancho police officers were called out to the home of CYFD caseworker Erica Martinez, age 28, who was physically attacking her boyfriend after learning about some cheating allegations. According to the criminal complaint, officers noted that the incident was quite intense. Some of the comments included Martinez accusing her boyfriend of pinning her to the floor, and the boyfriend saying that Martinez threw a cinder block through the home's back sliding door. All the while, the couple's baby was inside the home. Officers booked Martinez into the Sandoval County Detention Center that night, but months later, the mother is still a CYFD employee. So, why is she still employed? Or, at the very least, why is she not on administrative leave? Now, some would say innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, but not if CYFD is down your throat. It's quite the opposite. So maybe this is more of a laws are for thee and not for me. I don't know. A spokesperson for Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham said that there was a separate investigation being conducted by CYFD, but that's all they were able to reveal. They couldn't even explain why she wasn't at least suspended. Alejandro Alvarez, the man who live-streamed the murder of his girlfriend, will serve between 30 to 42 years in prison. Back in 2020, officers conducted a welfare check on Alvarez, his girlfriend, Crystal Cervantes, and her grandfather. They learned that Alvarez was live-streaming on Facebook at that time, and during that live stream, Alvarez murdered Cervantes, while her grandfather appeared to be already dead. Alvarez then threw fireworks at officers when they attempted to get him out of the home. Alvarez pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder and 4 charges of assault on a peace officer last week as part of a plea agreement. Weather's coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Volunteer with us and keep Alamogordo clean. Join the District 5 Neighborhood Cleanup Initiative. Want to help? Want to help? Fill out the waiver form by clicking the link in this social media post. Also, dump your junk. Saturday, July 15th from 7 a.m. to noon. Saturday, July 15th from 7 a.m. to noon. Start District 5's cleanup initiative by dumping trash, bulky, and unwanted items in the dumpster on the corner of 5th and Florida. Volunteer, and let's keep Alamogordo clean.
Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny and hot. Partly cloudy tonight with a 10% chance of showers and storms. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a 10% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in the Basin, 102. Low tonight, 75. High tomorrow, 101. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Winds gusting as high as 22 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with a 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 18 miles per hour. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 81. Low tonight of 57. High tomorrow, 78 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. We've also launched the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, which will feature our daily newscasts, as well as complete interviews and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.